Theo. Theo, what you doing? Are you lizard hunting? Any lizards today? He checks the corners of the garage. Today we're going to replace the rear brake line. I know what you're thinking. Why are you going to put a rubber hose back on when we've got a nice stainless steel one there? Braided stainless steel. And two things. Number one, this is the wrong size one the previous one put on. You can see how it's so long they wrapped it. It's literally rubbing up against the shock. Ridiculous. So I don't know where they got it, but they ordered the wrong one. Number two is that I don't want to pay for a stainless steel one. This one, brand new, was $8, and that is like $40. So it is not worth it. And that's two answers. So I've gone ahead and used this brake bleeder from Harbor Freight. It works fantastic again. I pulled the old fluid out. You need to take off this one rear fairing, rear cowl bolt, so you can get to the Phillips head screws that are under here to get the brake reservoir open. And all I did was attach the hose down there, threw on my 8mm wrench, cracked it open, put pressure on the brake bleeder, and it sucked it right out in about probably 2 minutes. So it should be empty now. I've cracked this. I forgot to record, so that's why I'm kind of playing catch up right here. It's a 14, I think it's 14mm, so I cracked this loose. We're going to loosen that one, and we're going to loosen this one and pull it off. I'm actually going to pull the caliper off and check the pads and clean them just like I did the front, because it made a world of difference. The front brakes feel fantastic now. So we're going to do the same to the back, which should be a little easier because it's just one line to bleed. It's not that double thing. And it's only one set of pads instead of four. Or I should say 4 pads instead of, it's 2 pads instead of 4. All right, this one's loose. We can take this one off, and there's 2 crush washers, copper ones, one on top and bottom. And you should always replace these. Sometimes you can actually, a trick I do sometimes if don't have them, is I flip them around opposite the way they were on, because they're curved a little, and then that'll let them bend down the other way again. So I'll just leave them as they were on and then flip them around. So that's loose. Looks nice. And they've got them under these clips too. This thing is not even clipped in here. The way this thing is so long, the way they clip this in. I don't know what they were doing. This should really be under here like this. I'm wondering if they put it on backwards. I'll have to check when I get it off and see. It's just the way these things are pre-curved. So, horrible. Whoever did this, no idea what they're doing. Alright, so put this on the back. This is a little harder because I really don't want to take the muffler off. I'm going to have to go get an extension because my handle is hitting the muffler right here. Extension activated. So I've got plenty of clearance over the muffler now. Hardest part with an extension is keeping it with one hand. There you go. Broke it loose pretty easy. Take this one off. Same thing, 2 crush washers. There's the other one, it's still attached, fine. It likes it back there. I always put the same banjo bolts back in the same threads they came out of, even though in theory they both should fit. Alright, so we got this out. It almost actually looks identical now that I'm looking at it, but boy, what did they do? Because my black one fits really good. It's the way this thing was made. It looks like, I don't know what they did. What in the world? Maybe if I'm lucky, I can just recurve this thing. Let's see. Let me play with it. I put the camera down. Line's off. There's Theo. He's just smelling. He always sits with his paws crossed. Do your dogs do that? Let me know in the comments. So I am definitely going with the original OEM rubber hose. That stainless one, man, I can get to fit, but I have to use a pliers to twist and hold it, and to get the ends to lay flat on both sides where they should be, and it comes around this way. It is like 2 inches too long, and the ends need to be twisted like 30 degrees. to get it to line up. So I am just going with the black one. It doesn't fight me, and it lines up perfect. OEM part, it's like brand new. When I sell the bike, I'll just throw that one in if they want to screw with it, but I'm not touching it. Unfortunately, I broke one of these clips off just now. It's old plastic, and stupid me. It's time to take a shortcut and lift it up just a little to sneak a line under, and popped. That one's still intact, but I'm sure it's kind of brittle, but it seems fine. It just holds a line down. It doesn't hardly move. So now I'm taking the back caliper off, and I don't know if this is stock or not. This one is a 12 millimeter, and this one is a 14 millimeter. They're fitting the thread, so maybe that's how they're supposed to be. I haven't bothered looking it up. So I'm going to take this off and clean this out. Looks stock. There's the 12, there's the 14. Loosen right up, and comes right off. My brake retaining. Oh shoot! Forgot I didn't finish draining the. Just made a mess. Don't do what I did. I tipped it over. Look, and I forgot. I gotta get the rest of the brake fluid out. Dummy. Dummy me. Dummy me. Get the retaining clip that decided to stay behind. Obviously, it needs to be cleaned. So we'll clean all this good. But the mounting caliper, the mounting bracket looks in good shape. It's just dirty. All right, I'm gonna clean up my mess. Interesting, getting sidetracked again. There's only one slide pin on these, so when you take this off, it literally, the pads just like flip out of the way like this. There's a retaining clip down here that, from what I can tell, these pads, there's these 4 little things, they just push on it. They literally are like, you can feel it on a spring by pushing down on them. Then the other retaining clip just sits on top of here like this. So you can just move it out. With these little tabs up, it just falls right into place, and you can feel it just lock into place there. So this all needs to be really cleaned. Let's get some brake cleaner. I actually am just using some degreaser because I thought I had brake cleaner, but I've run out apparently. So you want to take the pads off first. To do that, you remove the slide pin. That's just a flathead screwdriver, and it'll literally just unscrew. And that will slide out. Remove these. You don't want to get these full of cleaner. I just do a light sand on them on a flat surface, like a piece of glass if you have it or something. Just a real light sand to kind of scrub off any glaze. Then when you reassemble, you want to put brake grease on everything. This is the piston that actually moves in and out, so I'll clean this a little, but it's probably not going to move. I just clean the exposed edge, is usually what I do. Sorry if this lighting's not so good, and then kind of just clean everything off real good, and then we'll re-lube it and reassemble it. Wear gloves. I should have put gloves on before I started, and safety goggles so it doesn't spray back in your face. Fibbed a little. After you take this little flat pin off, you're presented with this underneath, which is a Allen wrench that it was super hard to crack, even though it's been covered in that. So that literally just threads into the hole. The whole slide pin threads in with the Allen wrench, and then this covers the Allen wrench head. Yeah, it won't let it back out is the big thing, and then it's supposed to kind of protect the threads. But my pads look good. Depth-wise, they're totally fine. I'm just going to clean them out. You can see they're rusted. Get those out of the way and then start cleaning. And I basically, these here, normally I've not seen this before. These should pop out. Hesitant to pop them out because I don't want to bend them, but I can't leave anything alone, so there it goes in like that. Get a picture of that. It goes in this way, they just pop in, and actually I'm glad I took it out. You can see there's junk underneath there. You might not be able to see, but I can. So it's just easier to clean when they're out. So I'm going to spray it all down and then let it sit a while, and then I use an old toothbrush on it, and then spray it again to kind of rinse it, and this stuff evaporates. I gotta put this down because I gotta hold the bottle at a straight angle. Got everything clean down here, ready to go, dried off, and I'm looking up always look up your torque values. So there's the rear brake torque values right there. Caliper bolt, caliper pin bolt, and I think those are the only two I need actually. And yeah, those are all I really need. Pin bolt and pin plug at the top there, 2 Newton meters, is just that tiny little screw that covers your caliper pin bolt. So do that. Here's some little notes: apply Loctite to the threads, so pay attention to stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. When you reassemble it, use some good quality brake grease. I just picked up this at AutoZone. It's not that expensive, but you're going to want to put grease on the pin slides, anything that slides. So it's mainly this guy right here, this pin slide right here, and also this, which goes inside these. And make sure your seals are on right. Make sure those seals are on right. I also throw a little brake grease on the parts of these where they contact the pads, but not a lot, just a thin layer. And then I put a super thin layer on the back of the pads themselves to help prevent a little bit of squeal. Just super thin layer. All right, the brake is back together, all greased up, torqued to where it's supposed to be, Loctite on the pad pin like it said. Now if you notice this new brake line right here, I don't have the these guys in place, that those just slide, but look at how nice this lines up, and it's not way the heck over there. It's ridiculous. It goes right down, follows the swing arm, and right up. I got to put the little brackets on that are holding it back, but that's how it's supposed to be. I could not get this one to bend that way. All right, we're going to torque these down. It says 25 foot-pounds, so quite surprising. No Loctite on these guys. All right. Hope you enjoy it. I hope it helps you with whatever problems you have on your bike or just learning about it. Please leave me comments. I love that. Hit the like button, subscribe, dance in circles. I don't care. That's about it. And we've got more videos after this one.